The music is a struggle, and the struggle is music.
I think songs have always been important in struggle, and not just in Ireland, but perhaps particularly in Ireland because of the cultural background. It's a struggle going back centuries, I suppose, in which people express themselves in song, and sometimes express things in song that would have been very difficult and even dangerous to express in speech.
I just think music is at the heart of every movement, social, political. It has to be music and the arts and poetry, and it has to be, otherwise it's dull and it's dead.
Most of the songs are about the North. They're mostly about some sort of struggle, either the struggle against the British Army, the struggle for independence.
The first rebel music that I would have heard would have been at parties in my aunt's house, or christenings. People would have been singing The Sniper's Promise or James Connolly. So I've always been interested in that way, because it's always been like sticking your fingers up at the state.
They used to blast us out the windows. It was either Kathy Laggy, it was Luke Kelly, or it was the Wolfhound, Ray McAreevy.
The main reason is fundamentally that I would agree with the politics, and believe that what I've got to say is as a message is probably the right one.
James Connolly is my international revolutionary hero, really, and the role that he played sort of in Scotland and in Ireland. No ship must sail, no wheel must turn, no crane arm swing or furnace burn, for these are far greater weapons than gun or gaudy uniform. The sun goes down each weary day. The sun goes down each weary day on tenement and spire and people. They starve, and yet they will not give way. They carried him up to the jail. They carried him up to the jail, and they shot him down on a bright May morning, and they quickly laid him in his gore.
Songs can contribute to an understanding of what we're about in a local area or in a particular struggle, sort of far better at times than actually trying to list other experiences and to draw attention to the similarities between experience. When you feel something, you understand it sometimes more deeply, than knowing it or getting to understand it.
The song about the brandy well, I wrote that song about 1980. Brian Moore and myself were going to England, and I wanted to write a song to try and explain to ordinary English people that the struggle here was not a Catholics and prods, a sectarian struggle the way it had been portrayed by the media. So I tried to write the song to explain how we went from civil rights and how we, from a lack of civil rights, into a civil rights movement, and then when that was denied, it went into an armed struggle.
My name is Johnny Quigley, and I'll sing to you me song. The brandy well in Derry town, well that's where I come from. The Lone Miranda Lecky Road, I played there as a boy. I climbed the slopes of Corrigan Hill to watch the Foyle flow by. Me mother worked a 12-hour shift for very little pay, stitching cuffs and collars in a shirt factory all day. Me dad got work down in the dock about 1 day in 10. You'd find him at the corner standing with the other men. Me Uncle John trained greyhounds, we'd walk them down the line. Chasing rats and rabbits, we had ourselves a time. He took me to the boxing, I saw Billy Kelly fight, and when he won the title, boy, I cried for joy that night.
We look back at the Bullfinia men, but these people were such their historical input and their courage was so important to where my ideology is today.
'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman, a plucking young apples, as she ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the Bullfinia man. Some died by the glenside, some died by the stranger, and wise men have told us that their cause was a failure, but they loved dear old Ireland, and they never feared danger. Glory, oh, to the Bullfinia man. I went on my way, God be praised, and I met her, be my life long or short. Sure, I'll never forget her. Oh, we may have brave men, but we'll never have better. And glory, oh, to the Bullfinia man. Glory, oh, to the Bullfinia man.
It's about me dealing with Bloody Sunday as well, and about, the Bloody Sunday March and what the Bloody Sunday, the whole event has become. And it's about us as working class people, the way that we vent our anger about what happened on that day as we come out, and we're thousands. We write songs about it, there's poetry about it, there's films being made about it, because it's probably one of the most important, in modern Irish history, it's probably one of the most important events, because at that point, young people decided not to take part in peaceful protest. If the state was going to murder young people on the street, young people were going to arm themselves and fight back.
How many times must we do this to ourselves? Been on our knees a million times, asking for your help. Of all the answers that I don't understand, like I did not draw the firing line, but still know where to stand. Nobody told me, must have heard it on the news. People with nothing still had everything to lose. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. In the corner of a graveyard, a mother kneels to pray, in the memory of a son that slowly fades away. And in this part of the graveyard, the sun no longer shines. There's no fences or barbed wire, but still she's doing time, until she gets the answers to the questions that she asks. It's hard to build a future when you're haunted by the past. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. As the bodies hit the pavement, the world seen what you done. As the bodies hit the pavement, somebody singing that we will overcome. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. Everybody gathered here on Central Drive is marching in the shadow of the truth you tried to hide. And every step that's taken is a breaking of your law, for your justice never added up to the murder that we saw. And time don't make no difference to the people that still care. In thousands we march the streets still knowing that you're there. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill.
The running uphill makes perfect sense if it's simply about the experience of people in Bloody Sunday and the rest of it in Derry. But that idea sort of running uphill, sort of that the journey's never over, that the struggle's never over, it's exhausting, sort of, and when you sort of reach the end of it, or a phase of it, you can discover really that you haven't made any progress, that everything remains to be done, like you're running uphill sort of all the time.
It was always something that struck me about the first times that I came to the north. Was a completely different life was here to where I was living in Glasgow, which is just, you know, a short hop on a plane or a boat. It's only a few miles away, but the life that people were forced to live in here was completely different, and the song kind of explains that, you know, the No Time for Love.
They call it the law, we call it internment, apartheid, partition, conscription and silence. It's a law that they use to keep you and me where they think we belong. They hide behind steel, bulletproof glass and machine guns and spies. And they tell us who suffer their tear gas and torture that we're in the wrong. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears or for fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning. They suffered the torture, they rotted in cells and went crazy, wrote letters and died. And the limits of pain they endured, but loneliness got them instead. And the courts gave them justice as justice is given by well-mannered thugs. Sometimes they fought for the will to survive, but most times just wish they were dead. 'Cause there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears or for fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning. They took away young Francis Hughes and his cousin Thomas McElroy as well. Like they came for Patsy O'Hara, Bobby Sands, and for some of their friends. And in New York and Glasgow, Saigon, Bogota, and Palestine and Belfast. And to the places that never make headlines, the list never ends. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears or for fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning. sisters and brothers the will to fight on. They say you can get used to war. That doesn't mean that the war isn't on. 'Cause the fish need the sea to survive like your people need you. And the death squads can only get through to them if first they can get through to you. 'Cause there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears or for fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning. Oh, the sound of the siren, the sound of the siren, the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning.
When I was a kid in the 70s, Ernesto Che Guevara was my hero. He fought for the rights of people.
Here was a guy just built for the task, one of the best that you've ever seen. Spanish blood and a touch of Basque, and wouldn't you know it, a drop of the green. A song on a motorcycle in the glen, Che Guevara was on the road again. Down in Argentina, such a mighty fine life. Little Che Guevara, you've got it made. Living in a world of trouble or strife, serving your time at the medical trade. A song on a motorcycle in the glen, Che Guevara's on the road again. Norton 500, take him out of town. Gonna see how the world really lie. Poverty grind in the peasant town. Motorcycle journey done a dope in his eye. Song on a motorcycle in the glen, what Che Guevara's on the road again. Every day learning more and more. Come the day he meet Fidel, sailing towards the Cuban shore. Gonna give Batista hell. Song on the motorcycle in the glen, Che Guevara's on the road again. Who was this guy, Che Guevara? Everywhere you'll hear the cry. He leads his men into Santa Clara. This is a name that will never die. Song of the motorcycle in the glen, what Che Guevara's on the road again. Congo, Bolivia, spreading the word. CIA, they want him gone. They swear they'll stop the voice being heard. They kill the man, but the dream lives on. Song on a motorcycle in the glen, Che Guevara's on the road again. Here was a guy built for the task, one of the best that you've ever seen. Spanish blood, a touch of Basque, and wouldn't you know it, a drop of the green.
When you hear Eileen Webster singing Bread and Roses, I mean, you're not just listening to the performance of a song, you're listening to, I mean, a personal declaration, a personal political declaration.
Marching, marching in the beauty of the day, in a million darkened kitchens, in 1,000 millofts grey, they are touched with all the beauty that a sudden sun discloses. For the women hear us singing bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead, they go crying through our singing their ancient cry for bread. Small art or love or beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it's bread that we fight for, but we want roses too.
That's why I think these songs are as subversive, more subversive than a bomb. A good song is more subversive than a bomb. And it comes together best when songs are written by and performed by those who have shared in the experience.
People would sing rebel songs, and that kept people's spirits up. Or you go to a funeral, and somebody would get up and sing, and it unifies people. It keeps people together, people singing in one voice.
I keep on telling myself it's getting better. Don't let the long days drag you down. I know the skies above are clearing. The stars will guide me back to town, where the lights shine so brightly, and the factory girls know just how to smile. There'll be flowers growing in the desert when I sail my boat home. When I sail my boat home, I know that I had lost direction. The strong winds blew me from the shore, but I know the tides below are changing. They'll take me back to land once more, and they'll all be there to greet me. A brass band playing on the sand. There'll be flowers growing in the desert when I sail my boat home. When I sail my boat home. I do not need lighthouse salvation. I need to find a fast way home. There are no maps out here to guide me. When you're out here, you're on your own. But I'm dreaming of the sunshine, dancing through the streets of Tripoli. There's a strange girl waiting by the market where the desert hits the sea. Where the desert hits the sea. I keep on telling myself, I keep on telling myself, I keep on telling myself it's getting better.